Hi everybody, welcome to this video and this video series around Copilot and Dynamics 365 Business Central. My name is Craig Kreskes. I am a partner solution architect here at Microsoft, and I want to say thank you for investing time to learn more about these capabilities inside of Business Central. Now, I will put together a number of different videos all encompassing Copilot. You can see on the screen here, there are 4 key areas that I'll focus on in this first series. The first is on chat. The second will be on sales line suggestions and how Copilot can streamline data entry. I'll then expose or talk about another video around marketing text, and then we'll do the analysis assist. Now, these are just some of the initial videos I'll create. There'll be much more. There'll be some that will include or encompass some of the previous capabilities around AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So inside of the first video, what I'm going to do is show you how we can have a conversation with Business Central, how it can make my job easier as an end user. And then the second is around learning and using the Tell Me capabilities with Copilot embedded in there so that end users can learn how to perform their jobs. So let's start with the chat conversation experience with Copilot and Business Central. Over here, once I'm logged inside of Business Central, you'll see on the top right where I've got the your attention drawn, there is the logo or the icon for Copilot. Now, invoking Copilot, you can see there are some prompts in the top right corner to help users get started. So if they're not sure where to get started first, but what I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and ask a question. And I'm just going to ask Copilot, how many chairs do we have that are in our inventory that are less than $350? So I just asked a simple question. I'll select enter. And here you can see that Copilot is presenting a beautiful graphical experience of the items that we have inside of inventory. And as an end user, I can then start to analyze or click on the Berlin chairs. And now notice Copilot stays pinned. And so I can work with the data on the left-hand side if I need to do a little more research on this guest chair. I'll ask another question. And this is what's great about this experience is that it builds upon the questions that I'm asking. And it says, how many desks do we have in stock? And I click on enter. Now, Copilot's going to be thinking, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing other things while it is doing its thinking. So you notice on the right side, it does not disappear for me. Now I clicked on customers and notice the response came up. And it tells me that we have 4 desks that are in stock, including this Athens desk. Now I'll ask that question again or even further and say, can you show me the latest invoices in a datum? Right, so here again, I'm just asking this conversation, things that are coming to my mind as I'm doing my job. And it presents me with the latest invoices. And you'll notice there is a link. So if I want to open the sales invoices page, it will open that for me. Again, it opens up the 2 invoices that I have for a datum. And I'll ask another question. Again, this is building upon that conversation. Which one of those happen to be unpaid? And I click on enter, and then you'll notice the 2200 is the only one that is still unpaid. So that's just a simple way in which end users can invoke Copilot, just having a conversation while they're doing their job. They're looking up items in inventory. Then they went to navigate to a customer. And then another thing popped in our mind and said, oh, can you tell me about the latest invoices for that customer? And that is part of the conversation. Now, the next part is the tell me and the learn, right? So we think about how challenging it may be for somebody who's brand new to an application like Business Central or any application for that matter. And with Copilot, we can leverage that to reduce the learning curve for end users. Now, if you have just gone through that other demo, you can clear your chat with this little icon here, and we could start all over. And again, I can ask a question or I can leverage the prompt guides up in the top right corner. And perhaps I'm not very familiar with drop shipments. And so I want to ask Copilot, what are drop shipments? Can you tell me about them? And what this does is it looks at that experience and it tells me everything that I need to know about drop shipments. I'll go ahead and ask another question, and it says, building upon it, right? Again, you think about that, the conversational part of this is, can you tell me how to actually perform it now that I know what it is? So I'll go ahead and say, how do I do that? And now notice, in addition to the definition of a drop shipment, I now have steps on how I can go ahead and perform that inside of Business Central. Another way in which you can leverage and highlight the tell me is, let's say, for example, I'm going to open up my general ledger setup, and we have had this current experience, and what I mean by that are tooltips. So whenever you open up a field inside of Business Central or you click on it, you always had a description. Now, what you're going to start to see throughout the application is an additional area, not just the definition of what that field does, but then I can ask Copilot a little bit more. So for example, I selected on the allow posting from field. And now you can see on the bottom right corner, it's thinking, and then it tells me what in Business Central, what that allow posting field is used to specify the date in which the posting is allowed for a specific period in the GL or general ledger setup. So my next question would be, how is that different from, let's say, deferral posting? And here you can see Copilot takes that information and provides me a little bit of a better understanding of the differences between those two fields. So in this video, I was just providing you on how you can leverage conversational chat in your demonstrations to help reduce the learning curve for end users and also help them use the application much more effectively with the conversational chat. I want to say thank you so much for your time and attendance, and I look forward to seeing you on some of the other Copilot and Business Central videos real soon. Again, thank you so much.